What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're gonna look at Cyberpunk with the new Ray Tracing Overdrive update. Now, I know this older 3090 does not support frame generation, but I just kind of wanted to see what this would be like for people on older GPUs. So, what we will do is, we're gonna go run the game with Ray Tracing Overdrive on. We'll go get a little, then with that, and that with no DLSS or anything helping it, just native. Then we'll turn DLSS quality on, and then at the very end, we'll just do my settings, and we'll see if we even include ray tracing at all. And then we will move on to the main computer, and that one does have a 4000 series card, so we can add frame generation in, but besides that, we'll keep it pretty much the same. We're just gonna add one more step in, and I'm just skipping the ASUS G15 Advantage and Steam Deck, because Steam Deck is so weak it can't really handle ray tracing anyway, and most of the time it's not enabled in almost any game. I think there's like 2 or 3 games where it is enabled in, but you're like limited to 30 FPS, because ray tracing's tough. And then, as you all know, the ASUS G15 Advantage couldn't even do ray tracing before, let alone doing this overdrive stuff that makes a 4090 get 16 FPS native. So this is probably gonna be like 5 FPS slideshow native, but I still want to see real quick. And this game does have a benchmark, so we'll run the benchmarks too, just for fun. But in any case, why don't we really quick go over the specs of this guy, and then we'll hop into the game. So we got ourselves a 5800X 3D and RTX 3090 Founders. We got a X570 ASRock Tai Chi motherboard, 32 gigs of 3600 megahertz DDR4. It's CL14 and it is also dual rank. We've got ourselves a 1000 watt Corsair gold rated power supply. We have a 360 millimeter all-in-one by EK. And then what everyone stares at the whole time is we got ourselves an Alienware ultra-wide 3440 by 1440p monitor. It's 34 inches. It is an IPS display. It has G-Sync. It's 120 hertz, but it does not have FreeSync or HDR or any of that fancy stuff. So it was a very good monitor at its time, but obviously there's a lot of monitors out nowadays that just make this thing look kind of outdated. But it's still a great monitor. I am still probably going to upgrade to that new Corsair one that can like bend and whatnot, because I like the OLED part, because OLED is fucking awesome. And then I could just donate that to my mom, and then she can get into gaming. She likes mystery games and whatnot, so I think she would love games like The Medium, for example. But that needs a pretty powerful PC to run, so that'd be great. I'll probably just give her this monitor and give her that GPU, and boom, she's ready to go. The rest of her computer I built her should be able to handle everything else fine. Anyway, this is a long intro, sorry about that, but let's now go and hop on into the game.
Alright guys, before we hop into the game and benchmarks and all that stuff, I figured we'd go through the settings we're going to run real quick. So we're going to run at ultra wide with no VSync or anything. Whoop, start at the bottom there, we got to start at the top. So texture quality on high. You can't do frame generation on these GPUs, so we're going to obviously leave that off. Wait a minute. Alright, I thought I saw something on that shouldn't have been on. But anyway, so here's the rest of the stuff. Oh, I did see stuff though. Let's turn that shit off too. Okay, good. Now we can continue scrolling on down. And then, as you can see, we've got path tracing on. So, now that we've gotten to the bottom and all of that, let's go run a benchmark. This is probably not going to go well. And then after the benchmark, then we'll go get a little gameplay. Ouch. And like I thought, not very good at all. We averaged 15 FPS with a minimum of 5 and a max of 22. But anyway, here's the system info and all of that stuff. Processor, Windows, system memory, Windows OS version, and all that good stuff. Then we've got the settings we used down here. Well, at least some of them. It doesn't tell you every little thing. But there we go. So with that, let's go and see how wonderful this plays in the game. Well, here we go. We're in the game, getting a whopping 16 FPS, up to maybe 20. But like the benchmark said, we might get up to 22.
Wrong in the head or what?
Yeah, maybe I'm a little wrong in the head. You know what? There, now you got shot in the back. Aw, I got a warrant. Yeah, everybody run. Some crazy person shot people. Everybody get the fuck out of here. I'm out. You just have to pretend like you're running away from them. Pretend you're not the shooter. Oh no. Bad people see me. Let's run. We must flee. But yeah, as you can see, this is not very playable. This is pretty bad. But what were we really expecting if the 4090 can only do 16 at 4K without any DLSS or any help from anything else? So
you started it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the lights does look cool, but it ain't worth playing like this, that's for sure. This is abysmal. But after we go and get a little bit more footage here, we will turn on some DLSS onto quality. and see how that does. It's probably not going to be playable still, but it'll hopefully be at least a little more playable. You got so much food. All the food. And then you got some people I shouldn't fuck with because I'll probably die if I shoot at them. Damn, some of the cars in this game sound fucking great. Like, you'd think it'd be all, like, super futuristic hydrogen-powered or electric cars, and then all of a sudden you just hear, "Beat go brr," going down the street. You're just like, yeah. Anyway, though, why don't we now move on to DLSS? Well, now we're going to try the settings at the exact same, but we're going to turn DLSS on to quality and see how it does. So first, let's run down through all the settings really fast here. Just to show you guys, no funny business, everything is left exactly the same. We still got path tracing on. So, now with that all out of the way, let's go see how it does on a benchmark. Well, now here's what we got in this benchmark. We got up to almost 30 FPS, minimum of 22, and a max of 37. So, definitely nowhere near playable for me as far as I'm concerned, but some people might actually be able to play like that. Not me, but some people might. Anyway, though, let's go exit to the menu and get on into the game. All right, so now we've got DLSS on quality. So let's go run around again. And yeah, we're getting around 30-ish FPS. I don't consider this playable, but a lot of people would. Some people think the 30 FPS is completely playable, and if they can and can play like that, all the power to them. This is not playable for me. Now, if this was on the Steam Deck, sure. I could just barely scrape by with 30. But I can understand that. It's underpowered for like the games that are out today. So you got to make do with 30 FPS, just like consoles do. A lot of them are going back to 30 FPS for a lot of games already. And I already told people that's what was going to happen. And of course, it can do 60 FPS on old mixed gen titles, where they were still making games for the PS4 and Xbox One. But you start making games solely for the Xbox Series X and the PS5, and yeah, all of a sudden, it's not so easy no more to get that 60. That and consoles are always impressive when they come out. Well, except for last gen. Last gen, they were kind of a disappointment. They had alright-ish GPUs, but then that fucking Jaguar CPU was dog shit. So that is why most games did not do 60 FPS on last gen consoles. The CPU just wouldn't allow it. For all but a select few games. There were a couple games, don't get me wrong, that could do it, but AAA titles, no. And wow, now we're all down in the lower 20s, because we're getting to a more well-lit area. Okay, I guess that guy's got no problem. It sounds like he's getting robbed or mugged or something in there. Anyway, though, now let's move on. Well, before we move on to my settings, I figured there were people just kind of just telling me in the comments already, hey, could you do performance? So I figured before they could even ask, I would just do that too. So we'll try all the same settings on performance DLSS now. That way you can see how it looks and how many FPS it gets then. So there you go. You can see everything's the same. Path tracing is still on and all that good junk. So let's go run that benchmark again. Well, all right, guys, we got done with the DLSS performance benchmark and we got 44 average, 35 minimum, and 58 max. So we still can't quite hit that magic 60 FPS plus number. But that's definitely a little teeny bit smoother than it was before. So now that we got this out of the way, let's go actually hop into the game and see how it looks. Is it actually worth even doing at all, or does it look like trash now? Let's go find out. So here we go, DLSS performance now. And we're definitely getting a lot more FPS. And to be perfectly honest, the game doesn't look like garbage or anything. If you look way towards the back, it definitely looks a lot softer and whatnot, but stuff in the foreground is definitely not that bad. Can you tell there's some that it's not 4K? I think I can if I stare really hard at it, but Other than that, no, it doesn't really look that bad at all. However, I would still like more FPS, so on this particular computer, I would not even run the path tracing. Doesn't seem worth it. And it's a cool-ass car. Looks kind of like a fucking Ferrari. Definitely cool-ass cars in this game. Now, I still am going to run ray tracing and whatnot from my settings, but we're going to go back to the traditional ray tracing. And we're not going to, like, put the lighting on ultra. We'll leave that on medium or something like that. And probably drop everything else down to high. And then I think we'll get some decent FPS on this guy. But we'll just wait for a second and go do that in a minute. We're still getting DLSS performance gameplay here. That might just take me a performance hit right now. Oh, hello. Ow. They shot me up real good.
Grabbing a shotgun.
Grabbing a shotgun, huh?
Keep pushing!
Fire!
How about you someone else and like... No!
Fury and Carnage, huh?
Link, to the side, go!
Try to get rounder!
Grabbing a shotgun.
Oh shit, I didn't see you.
Shit!
Oh man, she fucked me up real good. Well, I guess let's move on then. Well, alright, so now it's time for my settings. So we're gonna run DLSS on balanced. And then we're going to turn everything else down to high here. Because if you want ray tracing everything, it's not really worth the FPS penalty to having it over high. And then turn ray trace lighting down to medium, and I think we'll get some pretty playable frame rates. So let's go run a benchmark and find out. Well, alright, we averaged 78. We got a minimum of 64, so we stayed over the minimum 60 FPS target, and we got max of 95. And here's the rest of the settings and the system specs and all that good stuff. Doesn't tell you every little thing, but definitely tells you some interesting details. So now that we've gotten through all of that, now let's go hop into the game and see how it actually plays while we're playing it. Here we go. We're back in the game here. And now I've got me a sniper rifle. I kind of forgot I had this. Yeah, definitely a lot better FPS now. Now I actually might be able to kill those bastards.
Don't push me.
Wow, you're very golden. Alright, so let's just slowly make our way back to where those assholes killed me last time and try and fuck them up this time. I think with some way better frame rate, I'll actually be able to win. I'm actually surprised I did as good as I did with the amount of frames I was getting. Usually I can't aim worth a shit if I don't have good frames.
They're coming for me! Medic! Losing soldiers here!
That wasn't a good time to look out, buddy. I should probably reload, though. I don't got a lot of ammo left.
Come out! I won't hurt you. Here, kitty kitty.
Oop, I missed. Holy shit. Just finish her off real quick. It's way quicker to switch to a different gun than it is to reload. So what do we have over here? They have orders, huh? Well, I'll read that a little bit later then. Let's see here. I can either sell that or take it apart for parts. So either way, useful. All right, cool. I kicked their ass. Now I'm happy again. All right, well now let's just run around for a little teeny bit longer here. And then we'll go and move on to camera after that. Because Shadowplay does use up a little FPS, I just don't think it's very much. But that way you guys can see for yourselves. I think I'll come back during the camera time and attack those people, but for now let's just walk down here a little bit. Oh, there's even more people here? Jeez. There are people everywhere. Well, this looks like a good spot to just stop. So let's move on to camera.
Well, alright, guys. Let's get a little camera recorded gameplay now. Just walk past some cops with my gun out. I'm not doing nothing. Just taking my pistol for a walk.
Esto no está bien. No vuelves a perder.
Come the fuck out. I'm a fucking guy here waiting.
Now let's reload this guy if we need it again. Okay, well that's all dealt with. So now we can run around a little more. Yeah, this is one of the few games I actually use DLSS in. Good. This is one of the few games where ray tracing makes a pretty big difference. However, can't use the new stuff. The path tracing stuff does not work, as you guys saw. I'd use it if I could, but nope.
Sell kidney. Need a new kidney? Install yours now at Mills and Almond's River Dog Clinic.
Oh, those guys have skulls over their head. They will fuck me up, so I'm not going to attack them at all.
Hollow candle. Fake flower.
We'll just turn around and go back this way.
What will you offer Santa Muerte?
¡Ay, chiquitita! ¡No te la vas a acabar!
Oh no, I must flee.
Pendeja, ¿qué pinche jueguito es este? ¡Al carajo, órale! ¡Esto es una pinche emboscada!
You little puta!
Oh shit. They got me. I am playing on super hard mode, so you get shot once or twice and you're dead. No matter who it is. But anyway, I think that's time for us to wrap it up since the camera has decided to unfocus itself anyway. Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for Cyberpunk and the path tracing update. And as you can see, unless you have a 4000 series GPU, probably a 4080 or 4090, it's probably just not going to be playable. And it's probably not even playable without frame generation. But we'll see once we go to the next computer, which is the main computer. So we're only doing those two because they're the only ones that can get anywhere close to playable frames. And without any help from DLSS, even this computer can't get any playable frames with that on. And we were like 12 to 16 FPS. I was like, damn, I expected it to hit hard, but wasn't expecting that. But whatever, that's probably for way down the line for like the 10,000 series or whatever. Maybe that can hit 60 FPS without any DLSS and all that. But even I use DLSS in this game. Put the game on high, have a little ray tracing, don't run it on ultra, and you still get pretty good FPS with the game still looking very good. But you gotta use a little balanced DLSS to stay above that 60 FPS target. But in any case, that is all I got for you guys for this particular video. I certainly hope you enjoyed watching it, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.